Yo, welcome to the first episode, first edition, first upload of Cielo Games. Man, I am so excited to get this thing started and to have you all here with me. Today, we're going to be playing some Animal Crossing. For my first video, I figured I'd just start by giving you guys a quick tour of my 5-star island as it stands so far. Now, I haven't been on in a week, so there will definitely be some housekeeping that needs to be done. Also, the June update dropped while I was away, so I can't wait to see what kind of new fish and insects we might discover while we play. With that brief introduction, let's get this thing started. Okay, and welcome back. Here we are, ready to start our island tour. Right now on the island of Sol, it's 12:58 p.m. on Sunday, June 7th, 2020. I didn't actually decide to buy any turnips today. I've got about 5 million bells in the bank, and I just so happened to be off the game for a week while I was away on a trip, so I didn't feel like rushing back on. I knew I was going to record today, so I kind of wanted to take my time and do my daily routine. But don't worry, we'll be buying plenty of turnips as in future episodes. One more thing, the weather report says we're in for a rare treat. Shooting stars. Ooh, maybe I should do a shooting star episode tonight. Sol, lit by the glow of a sky bursting with shooting stars. What a magical sight it will be. It sure will. If any of you have time tonight, go outside and take a look up. And with that, I'll get back to work supporting you and the enjoyment of our island. Thanks, Isabel. Okay, so we're going to start over by my character's house, but I guess since this is your first time kind of meeting my character, I guess we should do a brief introduction. This is Cielo in the blacked out kind of, I think this is the spy outfit. But you know what? Let me get into my mayor outfit. There we go. That's much better. So here's Mayor Cielo, here to give you a quick tour of the island of Sol. And I guess since we're over here by my house already, we might as well start with this part of the island. So we'll take a quick look at the map. We are in the northwestern corner, sort of like on the second cliff level. I moved my house up here probably about a month into the game. I just wanted a little bit more space. I think I'm definitely going to do some more designing around here, but I've been focusing more on the other areas of the island before I finish this out. But I do like putting the little treats there, or the little details like the trash can, the trash bags, just to make it feel a little bit more homey. And then here's my Zen garden. If you guys were playing during the Easter event, then you remember all those cherry blossom leaves. And I tried to collect as many of those as I could. Yeah, and this is what I put together. Cool. So we're gonna swing around. Above my house, I've got the flower garden. This is where I do most of my flower breeding. Like I said, definitely some housekeeping that needs to be done. Normally, I pick my flowers every day, have my empty spots. As you can see, I've sort of let these things grow wild. I've been focusing on one flower project for a while, and so I've really only needed one kind of flower. But I'll definitely be cleaning this up at some point today, but not in this video. But yeah, this is where most of my flower breeding goes on. I think once I have a good number of all the flowers that I need, I'll probably break this down and turn it into something else, because there's a lot of space up here that I'm not currently using. So we'll take a quick look at the back half of the island. Nothing here, just some windmills, to help power some of our green energy for the island of Sol. We like to use renewable energy sources here. And we'll cross this little bridge. I see these, don't worry. I'm going to come back and get these on my own time. I'll pick up that weed, though. Cool. So now we're kind of crossing. I guess this is a bridge sort of like to my estate. You can't really access it from anywhere else but here. So this is the one path that sort of leads to my house. And then once we come out of there, we are officially in the town of Sol. But I think for this part of the tour, I'm going to start just at the airport, just so everybody can kind of get situated and see where everything begins. Because every good tour should start at the airport. There's Freya. So, when you get off your flight to the island of Sol, the first thing you'll do is admire the beautifully put together flag. I think that was the first custom design I ever did. And you'll see as I show you some of the other custom designs, I definitely started pretty basic, and then I think I got a little bit better at it and was able to do a little bit more stuff. So, when you come off the island, if you have played Animal Crossing at all, you know that everybody who comes to your island usually is only coming for one thing, and that's turnips, or to buy your clothes, or to buy your items. So I made these two custom signs just to point them in the right direction. I think they look pretty cool. I love the custom design feature here. Anything that I can do to make my island even more unique is is something I'm always going to do. But yeah, so then we have the basketball court to the left. I put together these custom design tiles. I'm probably going to change it. It just takes up too many custom design pieces. I've seen a couple of better ones out there, you know, with the 3-point line. But for me, this does the trick. I think people know it. It's also just a lot of space for just a basketball court. And I don't know if the Island of Seoul needs really an entire basketball court. But as we move on to the town square, I've got 4 Lily of the Valley plants. I think that means I've had a 5-star island for 4 weeks. I should have a 5th one around here somewhere, but I also haven't played in a week, so there might have been too many weeds for me to get that 5th one. But whatever. The plan is just to keep collecting them. I don't know. I might do a design with them or just stack. I wonder if there's a limit. I wonder if one day I could just have an entire island covered in Lily of the Valley plants. Before we go check out the buildings over there, I'll just show you that this is the flower project that I'm working on. I'm trying to spell out Seoul, different colored flowers. So we've got the purple mums, pink tulips, blue hyacinths, and some gold roses. I think I'm just missing one blue hyacinth, and then I'll fill the rest of those out with whatever black flower. It doesn't really matter to me. And then I'll be done with that. That is going to stay forever. I think that's one of my more favorite things that I've worked on. But we're going to go to the left here, past the park. I got to give a name to this park. I think this calls for a custom sign. But yeah, it's the nice little seating area. So one thing you'll notice as we walk around is I've got these blue mailboxes. They kind of remind me of the mailboxes that you see out on the street. But they actually belong to each one of these, you know, houses. But, you know, once you get to a certain customization point, you can kind of move them around. So I like putting them on the street to almost make them look like public mailboxes almost. So we'll continue up this way. And the first building that we're just going to walk by, this is Dr. Nelson Rand's office. And I'm going to do a separate video for each building just because I want to be playing as the character that kind of owns this home, right? This is a player home. This is Cielo is my main character, but to create all the sort of the different buildings on my island, I created additional profiles on my Switch so that I could have secondary homes. The one downside is that the villagers can't really go inside of it, but I do like using most of the furniture indoors, and your own home only has so many rooms. I don't really like setting my stuff up outside, you know, because sometimes it rains on your island. What happens to all those books when they get rained on? So we'll be coming back to this in a later episode with Dr. Rand, and he'll give you a tour of his office. As we stroll down the path here, the next building that we have has got some items that are ready to be placed inside. If you couldn't tell by the sign or by the items that are left outside of it, this is the gym. This is GTL Fitness, run by Coach K. And again, we'll be doing a separate episode with Coach K, and he'll come by and give you guys an inside tour of how the villagers of Seoul keep fit and healthy. We'll take a stroll back past the fountain. This building is the bistro. This is very much under construction, so I think if we do an episode on this, it'll probably be in a couple weeks once I've collected enough furniture to really bring this whole room together. But this will be Bella's Bistro, I believe. I think it's going to be some type of maybe Italian restaurant or a pizzeria, something along those lines. But I don't want to give too much away because I'm pretty excited about this build. So if you were paying attention to those signs at the airport, you would remember that Nook's Cranny is down this way and the Able Sisters clothing shop is down this way. So very easy to find for anybody who's coming to visit. And right next to Able Sisters is Planet Disco, Seoul's exclusive nightclub where only the rarest villagers are allowed in. No, I'm just kidding. We're an all-inclusive club. Anybody's allowed to come in. Just make sure you have your IDs ready. We do serve juice at this establishment. Yeah, Planet Disco was the first secondary building that I built. And again, we're gonna do an in-depth tour with Jem. She's the nightclub owner, and she'll show you all the ways you can get your kicks at Planet Disco. That's probably one of my favorite builds so far. Cool. We're gonna stroll past Planet Disco, going up this way. If we just take a look at the map, show you where we are now. Here's the town square. Play a little street piano. There's another public mailbox, which has some mail inside of it. Uh-oh, it looks like Curly wants to leave, which actually would be a great thing. Yes. Okay, well, this wasn't supposed to be in this video, but it's going to be in it now. I am not a fan of Curly. I mean, he's perfectly fine, but I think we all have that list of villagers that we are are dying to get on our own island, and Curly is not on my list. So, safe travels, bud. I'm quite chipper. Didn't mean to seem so happy. Take care, bud. I wish you the best. Probably going to end up on one of my friend's islands. Let's get this balloon right here. Even though we're doing an island tour, we can't just ignore balloons. That's not how you play the game. But we'll open it later. Cool, so past the town square. Oh, you know what? We missed a few buildings over here before we cross over to the residential area. Behind Bella's Bistro is Seoul University campus, which is also slightly under construction. Professor X runs the university here. He's the headmaster. He'll be giving us a nice tour. I'd say the school's still under construction, right? They still need to ship in a lot of the school supplies that they need to make sure that the villagers of Seoul can get a proper education. But once that's all wrapped up, I'll have Professor X show you all the goodies that are tucked inside there. But yeah, one thing if you haven't noticed so far is I really don't have too much furniture items outside. Like I said, I really like to decorate inside. I think outside I put outside furniture, like street lamps. Those go outside, and the park clock. And this nice little campfire sitting area. Cool, but yeah, this is sort of the main commercial area, I guess you could say. I don't have any villagers that live on this part of the island. They all live across these bridges, across the river, and then the museum is tucked over here. But I'm going to start the residential section just over here, down by the furthest bridge that needs to be destroyed and replaced with a brick bridge, because we can't have wood bridges anymore. We're too good for that. But I think what I'm gonna do is name these neighborhoods, right? So I've got about 4 houses down here. So maybe this will be like Evergreen Park or something like that, you know, and I'll put a sign here and maybe at the other side just so people know when they're entering and leaving this particular neighborhood. But yeah, try to give all of the homes their own little unique furniture so that they feel unique and not just like a bunch of houses pressed together so that you can decorate as much outside. You know, we only have so much space, so I feel like you can really better utilize your furniture by decorating inside of homes. And then kind of tucked in the back over here of Evergreen Park, I think that's just what we're going to call it, is the path to the campsite. This might get changed too because it is a lot of space just so I can have a wooded path. But I sort of like that idea, right? It's a campground. It shouldn't just be in the middle of... I feel like Seoul is sort of like a modern town. It shouldn't just have a campground sitting next to another person's house. So you go down this wooded path, and then here you arrive at the campsite for anybody who wants to visit. Cool. And so as we leave Evergreen Park, we'll cross the bridge over. We're going to go up first, I think. Take a look at the Seaside Cafe. This needs a lot of work. I'm going to be... excuse the GTL Fitness placemats there. I just had to reuse that design. I'm going to be doing a different design for the placemats. Something to kind of go with that lighthouse. I really want this area to sort of match with that. And I need people when they walk in to be like, oh, this is like a seafood, seaside, outdoor restaurant. This is the only time you'll see me really decorating outside. But I think I'm going to mess around with these floors. I think I might try and do like a white wood, like just wood, but that's been painted white. But I think it might be a little bit hard to pull off. But if you can, like, you see how this chair looks? I want to try and pull that off on the floor if I can. But yeah, once it's finished, I think I'll come up with a proper name. At first, I just started putting my musical equipment here because I thought, hey, you could have a nice live music while you enjoy your lobster or whatever people eat in Animal Crossing. Because I have a feeling they don't eat other animals. You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's the Seaside Cafe. I should put a construction sign over here so people know this isn't finished. And then up here, we've got Egbert's home. Egbert's another villager that needs to go, so hopefully he feels like leaving pretty soon. But Egbert has a nice little private pond. And this is Bam's house? I believe this is Bam's house, if I'm not mistaken. I might move Bam's house because this is where I like to watch for stars at night. And so I want to try and make like a star watching area, if that makes sense. So I can wish on stars in comfort. But yeah, I think we should come up with another sort of unique name for these groups of houses. Maybe like Cliffside Heights. Man, these things just come to me. Evergreen Park and Cliffside Heights. I like that. I like those two names. Just so that, you know, the people who live here can feel a little bit of pride about where they're from. Rowan, oh, let me just pick up this lost item. Rowan over here is a resident of Cliffside Heights. He would never be caught dead in Evergreen Park. Right, bud? Yeah, he gets it. So we scroll along this way. Here's the second pond. You always got to have at least 2 ponds on your island if you want to get those special pond fish. Wow, I didn't even know. These weeds are all brand new. I haven't been on in a week, so I haven't seen any of this stuff. Those are cool. I love that they're always just changing it up a little bit. That's what keeps me coming back every day. Oh, here's Audie's house. Audie was not an original villager. I got her from a buddy of mine. I personally really don't like her house. I like her as a character, but these straw roofs are just not my thing. They just don't go with the kind of like modern. I feel like, you know, like we don't have straw houses on Sol. You know, we have rock houses or slate houses. So I don't know if Audie's going to be allowed to stay forever. But I know she is a pretty popular character. But you know what? I think you should be the one deciding who's a popular character. To me, Juquest is probably one of my favorite characters. Look at him. Says stuff like Zut Allures. Wow, I didn't say it. Come on, say it. Oh, yeah, him and Rowan call me Carol Baskets. I tried to get it only to be Rowan because he's the tiger. But I guess Juquest learned that also. Did he lose this? Let's see. Is it yours? Oh, wow. It was his. Look at that. Oh, it's Mitzi. Great. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So, yeah, I guess this one home, Diva's home here, couldn't really be part of Cliffside Heights because it's not really on the cliff. But maybe we'll just let her in there. I think 2 neighborhoods is enough. I don't think we need to make 3. But, yeah, this is just sort of the lower path that just connects back over here. Some might see this as wasted space, but I feel like I like that there's just, you know, there's a way to get to every part of the island from every part of the island. I hate having to backtrack anywhere or only want to go one direction forward. Okay, and that was the very quick tour of my island, but it is a 5-star. It took me probably about 200 odd hours, I think, to get to 5-star. I knew when I first started building that I was going to build something like this, something very grid-like, something with lots of buildings. So I know it's probably different than a lot of the other builds you've seen with unique landscapes and towering waterfalls. That's just not my style. But I think once you guys see the other characters' videos, you'll see how I like to decorate once we get inside. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this first episode. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit nervous about making this first vid, but I'm glad you guys stuck around if you're still listening, and don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you want to see any of if you want to see the insides of any of these homes. Yeah, peace out.
Curb has all the smoke, boy.